Paul Jones is an English singer, actor, harmonica player and radio personality and television presenter. Career: Paul Jones was born as Paul Pond in Portsmouth, Hampshire. As P. P. Jones he performed duets with Elmore Lewis at the Ealing Club, home of Alexis Corner's Blues Incorporated, whose singers included Long John Baldry and Mick Jagger. He was asked by Keith Richards and Brian Jones to be the lead singer of a group they were forming, but he turned them down. He went on to be the vocalist and harmonica player of the successful 1960s group Manfred Mann. Paul Jones had several top 10 hits with Manfred Mann before going solo in July 1966. He remained with his master's voice. He was less successful without the band than they were with his replacement, Mike Dabo, but did have a few hits, notably with High Time, I've Been a Bad, Bad Boy, and Thinkin' Ain't For Me before branching into acting. While his solo career in the UK was mildly successful, he sold few records in the US. He had enough hits in Sweden to have a greatest hits album released there on EMI. Subsequent single releases in Britain in the late 1960s on the Columbia label, as a result of EMI transferring their remaining pop acts from his master's voice, included Aquarius, from the musical Hair, and a cover version of a Bee Gees song, And the Sun Will Shine. From 1966 he also worked as an actor, first in films and television and then on stage, including West End shows such as Conduct Unbecoming, plus the musicals Guys and Dolls and the Beggars Opera Kiss Me Kate, Cats and Pump Boys and Dinettes. He has worked with directors such as Sir Richard Eyre, Peter Gill and Toby Robertson. His performance opposite model Jean Shrimpton in the 1967 film Privilege, directed by Peter Watkins, did not bring the hoped-for stardom, although the film later became a cult classic. Jones was cast as a pop singer in the film, and sang the songs I've Been a Bad, Bad Boy, and Set Me Free, which Patti Smith covered in the 1970s. In 1971 Jones recorded Crucifix in a Horseshoe with White Cloud, a New York-based session group featuring Teddy Wendo on keyboards and Kenny Kosek on fiddle. In 1973 he played the title role in Bob Fosse's production of Pippin at Her Majesty's Theatre in London. In 1975 he guest-starred in a TV episode of The Sweeney as a boxer-turned-gangster named Tommy Garrett. In 1976 he performed the role of Perron on the original concept album of Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Evita alongside Julie Covington as Eva, Combe Wilkinson as Che and Barbara Dixon as the Mistress. His gold albums include One for Evita. In 1978 he released a single on the RSO label, orchestrated versions of the Sex Pistols' Pretty Vacant and the Ramones' Sheena is a Punk Rocker, both produced by Rice. 4 years later he appeared as one of the guest vocalists on the British Electric Foundation's Music of Quality and Distinction, on a new version of There's a Ghost in My House. In 1985, he became the host of the children's TV quiz Beat the Teacher, and stayed for the next series the following year. In 1990 he appeared in the children's series Uncle Jack. In the meantime he enjoyed a parallel career as presenter of radio programs focusing mainly on rhythm and blues, notably a long-running weekly show on BBC Radio 2, which celebrated its 25th anniversary in 2011. He founded the blues band and is a member of the Manfreds, a group reuniting several original members of Manfred Mann, and has also played harmonica as a session musician on recordings by artists including Jerry Rafferty, Dave Edmunds, Katie Melua, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Ray Jackson and Marty Webb. In 2001 Showcase appeared on Hallmark Records. In 2009 he issued Starting All Over Again on Continental Record Services in Europe and Collector's Choice in the US. It was produced by Carl Olson in Los Angeles and features Eric Clapton, Jake Andrews, Ernie Watts, Percy Sledge, Alvin Bennett, Tony Marzico, Michael Thompson, Tom Morgan Jr., Oren Waters and Luther Waters. The sequel Suddenly I Like It was recorded in Los Angeles, and was released on February 24, 2015 in the US with its European release due on March 24. Among the guests, Joe Bonamassa, Jules Holland, Vince Melouney, Little Willie G, Greg Sutton and Tom Jr. Morgan. The same backing band as accompanied him on Starting All Over Again does so on this new album also, Jake Andrews, Alvin Bennett, Tony Marzico and Mike Thompson. On May 4, 2009, Jones and his harmonica featured in a song during a concert by Joe Bonamassa in the Royal Albert Hall, London. That same month saw the single release of I'm Your Kingpin by Nick Vernier Band with Paul Jones on harmonica. In 2010, Jones also featured on 2 versions of Your unregistered trademark Re-Wrong from Nick Vernier Band's Sessions album. In 2012, he featured on a song Solid Ground on Ollie Brown's album Here I Am. Jones is currently the president of the National Harmonica League and was awarded Harmonica Player of the Year in the British Blues Awards of 2010, 2011 and 2012, as well as Blues Broadcaster of the Year and a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2011. In the same year, the Blues Federation of America gave him a Keeping Blues Alive award. Personal life: Jones attended Portsmouth Grammar School and moved to the Edinburgh Academy for his last 2 years of school before winning an open exhibition in English to Jesus College, Oxford, although he did not graduate. Jones was first married to novelist and reviewer Sheila MacLeod. There were 2 sons from the marriage, Matthew and Jacob. He is currently married to the former actress, and latterly Christian speaker, Fiona Hendley-Jones. He converted to Christianity in the mid-1980s as the result of being invited by Cliff Richard to a Louis Palais evangelistic event. Jones had appeared opposite Richard in the 1960s, on a television debate show where he had, at the time, opposed Richard's viewpoint. In December 2013, Jones was featured in BBC One Songs of Praise, performing and talking with Al Jones about his faith. Jones was pictured with his son, Matthew, for the front cover of the Radio Times in 1973 along with actor John Pertwee and broadcaster Michael Parkinson. Solo discography. Albums: My Way, Sings Privilege and Others, Love Me, Love My Friends, Come Into My Music Box, Crucifix in a Horseshoe, Starting All Over Again, Suddenly I Like It. Hit singles: High Time UK number 4, I've Been a Bad Boy UK number 5, Thinkin' Ain't For Me UK number 32, Aquarius UK number 45. References. External links, official site, Paul Jones at BBC Programmes, The Manfreds, The Blues Band, Paul Jones at the Internet Movie Database, Paul Jones on Discogs, Paul Jones on AllMusic.